Now, Mohbad's wife, Wunmi, has given her own account at the coroner inquest where she tried to exonerate herself. She still tried, like how she did before, to put the blame of the RIP of Mohbad on every other person apart from herself. A lot of people have been screaming and they've been shouting, saying that Mohbad's wife, Wunmi, that seems to have been shielded by one certain blogger that has lost glory. I'm talking of Gist Lover, Iyabo Ojo, a Nigerian actress that is no longer acting, but she's into different things. Let us leave that. Let us face the major. So Wunmi went to the coroner inquest where everyone is made to say what they want to say. Previously, it was Mohbad's father who said his mind. And now, Wunmi has this to say. So, Gist Lover quickly dropped this on his or her blog. Whoever, whatever. But this is what Gist Lover wrote. And I want us to pick the silent points in it. Today, at the coroner's inquest, Wunmi was made to say her own part of the story. She narrated how she and Baba Mohbad used to be very close. That's Mohbad's father. How Mohbad's dad prayed for her to conceive Liam. She said they were so close to the extent that Mohbad's dad used to bring his girlfriend to their rented apartment in Lekki. And she never raised eyebrows because, according to me, it is his son's house. The girlfriend was said to be different from stepmother at home. So Mohbad's house was their meeting point. Wunmi narrated that problem started when she gave birth to Liam. She said Liam's placenta was what caused their indifference. Wunmi and Mo refused to hand over Liam placenta to Daddy Mohbad, which caused a lot of argument. And ever since then, it was from one issue to another. According to her, it was originally Mohbad's decision not to hand over the placenta to the dad. She, as the wife, just supported the opinion. She also made mention of the allegation of Baba Mohbad of seeing blood-soaked bucket in Mohbad's room. She said all of this was a lie and that Mohbad's brother, who stays with them, can testify to it, that the cut was just a little cut and what was soaked up was water. She narrated how Mohbad got the Korodu show, how Mohbad sustained injury after fighting with Prime Boy, how she has been receiving threats since her husband passed on, how people are defaming her on social media over what she didn't do, how Mohbad Canada visa was approved a day before he RIP'd, how she had to run out of her husband's house after his RIP because of threat. The next coroner inquest hearing will move to November 15. Now, let us go to what happened between Mohbad and Prime Boy. She went on saying this: I followed Mohbad to Ikorodu show with our son, Liam. Prime Boy was also with us in the same car. We got there at about 7 p.m. and Mohbad performed at 9 p.m. I sat in the car with Liam when Mohbad finished his performance. He wanted to enter the car with his fans surrounded him and started screaming his name. He brought out 100,000 naira and gave them. Still, the fans did not let him be, so he told someone to call a bouncer to disperse them. Before the bouncer came, he entered the car with Prime Boy. I sat down in their middle. When the fans were still complaining they wanted more money, Mohbad sent his younger brother to go break down some cash so he could give them, but it took so long before he came back. This made Prime Boy furious and he scolded Mohbad's brother, and that one insulted him back. Prime Boy now turned to Mohbad and said, your brother is insulting me in your presence and you are not saying anything. I can never allow my own younger brother to insult you. This led to a big argument between Prime Boy and Mohbad. Along the line, Prime Boy said, Mohbad, shut up. That statement infuriated Mohbad. He came out of the car, went to Prime Boy's side and opened the door. When Mohbad got out of the car, I also got down to call the other guys that followed us who were in the second Prado so they could settle the fight. By the time I got back, I saw some crowd already trying to intervene between them and I saw a wound on his hand. Wunmi went on to talk about the reason why Mohbad refused to go to the hospital, because if you have a cut and it is that deep, the next is for you to go to the hospital, isn't it? She said the reason why Mohbad refused to go to the hospital earlier was because he had a phobia for hospitals ever since the NDLEA issue happened, that they gave him water and he landed at the hospital. He was so scared of the hospital to the extent that when my delivery date was due, he was persuading me to deliver at home, all because he did not want to enter the hospital. When Mohbad started vomiting and started becoming weak, I screamed for help. Someone offered to drive us to the hospital. Now, I want you guys to pay attention because she has practiced what to say. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not jumping to conclusion. I'm not saying she's lying. Just like how nobody is lying until they are proven to be guilty. I want you to pay attention to this because I know there are intelligent people on this platform. Listen, he was persuading me to deliver at home all because he did not want to enter the hospital. When Mohbad started vomiting and becoming weak, I screamed for help. Someone offered. Who is this someone? She said someone offered to drive us to the hospital. Now that person is out of it. We don't know who this someone is. As we were on our way to the hospital, it was me, Mohbad's cameraman, and one other guy that were in the vehicle with the driver. We sat at the back with Mohbad, making efforts to save his life. The driver stretched his hand to the back and held Mohbad's hand. Then he told us that the hand was very cold. By then, we had entered into traffic. We had to stop a bike man. One of the guys was with Mohbad in the bike, while I took another bike and was following them. We got to the hospital and rushed him in. The doctor and nurses attended to him immediately. After about 15 minutes, the doctor came out and told us Mohbad was RIP. I was like, what do you mean, RIP? Is that how people RIP? Someone that was still gisting with me some hours ago, what could have RIP'd him? I didn't believe the doctor. By then, I already called Mohbad's cousin, who was in Niger, to come over. He got to the hospital after 20 minutes. Now, let's watch. Is it that the traffic dispersed before the other guy arrived from Niger down to the Lekki hospital? Because Mohbad lives where? That is what we should begin to talk about. Where does Mohbad live? And where is this hospital? How come it took them this long to get to the hospital? Maybe traffic and the traffic dispersed somehow. I don't know what she's trying to say there. Now, Mohbad is sick. Mohbad does not like the hospital. These are the negligence that we can see. Mohbad does not like the hospital. Mohbad is sick. Mohbad is this. We wanted to go to the hospital when everything became critical. Someone decided to drive us to the hospital. Then I called Mohbad's cousin. Blah, 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 blah. All of these are here. Now, the hospital told us that Mohbad came in RIP on arrival. Now, what about that video where they were screaming, Mohbad is gone, Mohbad is gone, Mohbad is gone? Was it after the hospital declared Mohbad RIP? Then people spotted movement in Mohbad's body, throat, head, and immediately they switched off the phone. What about that? What about that part? Okay, let us proceed. Now, people want to know, how come you did not call Mohbad's father when Mohbad RIP'd? After the doctor declared Mohbad RIP at the second hospital, now watch, second hospital. Which one is the first hospital that they took Mohbad to and they said he's RIP, and now they took him to another hospital? Can you get the story? I'm telling you what she said. I didn't call his dad because we were not in good terms. Have you ever heard that before? I did not call Mohbad's father because we are not in good terms. Have you ever heard that before in your life? Like, you and someone, you're not in good terms. The father of your husband, then the man brought his girlfriend. You know, that is what they want us to know, as if that makes any difference. What is our business if the man brought 10 girlfriends to his son's house? What is our business with this? What is our concern? I did not call his dad because we were not in good terms, but I called his mom and his auntie in Songo. I guess it was the mom that called his dad. Mohbad's dad and I were not in good terms. We used to be extremely close, that we were eating in the same plate. He was my friend and confidant. The first issue started when I gave birth to Liam. I think you know how this went on, how she talked about girlfriend and how this and that she brought a girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. The first started when I gave birth to Liam. He requested for placenta. This is the story. She's in court here listening to me. She's not a family member and they are not married. She's just a girlfriend. Now, that is not the business of Wunmi. How dare you say that the woman that Mohbad's father is with is just a girlfriend? How do you know if it's just a girlfriend and not a family member? I don't understand this. The point is that she wants to hammer on she's just a girlfriend. Like, seriously? Another stepmother is at home. One day, He didn't tell us he was coming over with the woman. Mohbad's mom was in our house paying us a visit. Suddenly, the dad entered with his girlfriend. He was shocked to see Mohbad's mom there. It became a big issue that day because Mohbad's mom got angry. Why would you bring a woman to sleep over in our matrimonial home? Which matrimonial home? Well, I don't know which one is the matrimonial. Was Mohbad's father and Mohbad's mother living in Mohbad's house? Possibly. Maybe they were doing some, in and out. And we also heard that Mohbad's mother has children for some other person somewhere. So I don't really get the true picture of this thing. This thing is becoming murky. Like Mohbad's mother has her own husband somewhere. Mohbad's father and Mohbad's mother will come to Mohbad's house. Like maybe they live there. Is that what she's trying to tell us? She said that we tried to settle between them. Mohbad's mama had to vacate the room we gave her so that daddy and his girlfriend could sleep there. Are you guys getting this story? She went to sleep downstairs. Mohbad's dad thought I was the one that deliberately set him up that day, which wasn't true because nobody knew he was coming. He stopped talking to me since that day. These are the things he has against me. Now, let us go to the Malian thing. Naira Marley, Sam Larry, and his boys were always after him and bullying him everywhere. They already RIP'd him before his RIP. He was always living in fear. They keep telling show promoters that he is not well and he has mental problems. No show promoter wanted to work with him any longer. When Mo was with them, he complained that his manager was always giving his shows out to other artists. Naira refused to promote all the songs Mo was releasing, yet he was promoting other artists' songs. Mo complained to Naira about this, but Naira still refused to promote his songs. He became depressed because of this. He told Naira that he was just burying his talent and that's why were his songs not being promoted by the label. This really affected Mo a lot and he had emotional trauma. This was the major reasons why he left the label. When he left the label, he had 0 naira in his bank account. These things were so tough and rough for us. It was Bella Shmurda that fed and housed us. We had nothing if not for Bella that came to our rescue. Even after he left, the threats didn't stop coming. Still, I jokingly asked why he does not post me and he said he was protecting me and our son. That if they don't get him, they might come for his son and I. He lived in constant fear and worries. After Bella helped me and my husband, we got an opportunity to rent an apartment and moved to the new apartment in Lekki a few months ago. There is a CCTV, but it was not connected. When Mohbad RIP, the dad came, he made arrangements on how the body will be taken to the mortuary without telling me. I got to know from an outsider. I went to his dad and I told him not to bury my husband, yet he didn't listen to me. The mortuary refused to take the body from them and I didn't know where he took it to. The second day, I was in the house when someone said, "Do you know they are about to bury Mohbad?" I was shocked. Then I went on social media and I saw how they were already preparing to bury him on his land. If not for the social media, I would not have known where they buried him. I dressed up immediately and I was about to go to the burial site when my mom's sister told me that there is something called protection clothes. When someone RIP, she said it is to protect the dead. She gave me the cloth and we cut a small portion of it. That was the cloth I threw inside his grave and I used the remaining cloth to cover myself at night when I wanted to sleep. Now, can you see that our family is diabolic? The family of Wunmi is diabolic. Like seriously, protection cloth. Well, maybe they are trying to protect.